Narendra Modi, who is in France, is set to take center stage at the G7 summit. Carrying with him is not just India's priorities, but also the aspirations of the global south. Right from trade and technology to energy security to artificial intelligence to geopolitical conflicts and also reforms in global governance, New Delhi is now expected to push for a more inclusive international order. Now, the summit that also offers top leaders a key diplomatic platform for bilateral engagements with world leaders, including discussions on trade, strategic partnerships, and also emerging global challenges. Let's get you a ground report by our managing editor, Zakka Jacob.
We're here in the northern French Alps, the foothills of the French Alps at Evian, where the world leaders of the G7 countries, the world's most powerful countries, will be aligning for the next 3 or 4 days. US President Donald Trump will be here. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be here. And just ahead of the G7 meeting, there's been a big announcement that Trump has put out on Truth Social that the war in Iran is now finally entering a degree of completion. There's a peace agreement that is likely to be signed between Iran and America this Friday in Geneva in Switzerland. This war has gone on for 108 days. Obviously, the Strait of Hormuz, which had been a choke point, will now be opened. And more importantly, on the nuclear question, Iran has simply given an assurance that it will stick to its NPT commitments and that it will not pursue a nuclear weapon. But it has not made any further commitments on stopping nuclear enrichment. It has not said anything about returning the fissile material, the nuclear fissile material that is a sticking point in this entire negotiation. The big question mark is, what will Israel do? We've already seen sort of hawkish and far-right voices from within Netanyahu's government, the likes of Itamar Ben-Gvir and Bezalel Smotrich, saying that they will not honor this deal. But the question really is, how far can Netanyahu go in angering Donald Trump? Will he cross Donald Trump's wrath? I think that's the critical question mark. It's also important to note that there are Israeli domestic elections that are coming up in a few months from now, so he will have domestic political calculations in his mind as well. But one big thing is that just ahead of the beginning of the G7, there is this big announcement that the war is coming to an end. A peace agreement will be signed in Switzerland, in Geneva, on Friday later this week, and there will be a collective sigh of relief when Donald Trump walks in for the dinner for the G7 Leaders Summit later tonight in Evian. Reporting from Evian-les-Bains, here in the northern French Alps, along with video journalist Braj Kishore Mal, this is Zakka Jacob for Times Now.
Well, those are the ground reports that we are getting for our viewers on the sidelines of the G7 summit. In the meantime, we head into a short break.